This story was sent to me by Caressa McKnight, and I think somebody else talked to me about it as well. And I didn't want to believe it when I saw it, but then I kept thinking about the rumors back in the day surrounding Malik Yoba. So we all know who Malik Yoba is. He's a well-known actor. He was very famously known for being on New York Undercover back in the 90s, which in my opinion was one of the best television shows of all time, especially throughout the 90s. But there was always rumors circulating around about his sexuality. Me personally, I really didn't care or anything like that. I just liked the guy because I thought he was a good actor. And he's done roles here and there. He's done a couple of Tyler Perry movies. He was on the first season of Empire, and he's done stage plays and everything like that. But I'm telling you right now, I think this latest stunt that he has pulled is literally him trying to get his career back on track. Just like what Ryan Russell and Michael Sams and Jason Collins and a whole bunch of other ones have been trying to do. So there was this. Okay, so first off, this is pertaining to a little bit of the video that I talked about with that guy who had committed suicide, and they tried to say, oh, he committed suicide because people were making fun of him because he said that he liked transsexuals. Well, it turns out that when I'm looking at this article, Malik Yoba actually posted this up onto his Instagram page, which I didn't know because I don't follow him on Instagram. But he also put out there a statement where he not only says he has support of people who are considered trans, but he also says that he's trans attracted. I'm going to go ahead and read this quote to you. He said, trans people deserve love and respect as do those of us that love them. And he wrote that part in all caps. I love all women and count myself among those that find themselves trans attracted. And I too have felt the self-imposed shame that comes with that truth. But it's time to speak up. It is not about genitalia or sex, but about attraction to the soul and humanity of an individual, and often the beauty that is in the courage and conviction to live one's truth. There they go again with that living in their truth shit. I swear, there's only two people or two categories of people that use that live in their truth shit. Women, specifically black women, because that's like the first people I've ever heard that from, and people in the gay community, specifically those who are black. So it's almost like that live in your truth or I'm speaking my truth is limited to those two entities right there. Those are the only two I've ever heard that from. He goes on to say, as a self-identified cis heterosexual man. Now, that's a terminology that people in the LGBT community use a lot. That cis term, CIS. I am too learning that what it means to be trans attracted. Many of us, famous and otherwise, that have struggled with accepting our attraction, so we do nothing. This must change. Malik Yoba, have you lost your goddamn mind? He just basically told the world that he is attracted to transsexual people or transgender people, people who were born one way and have completely altered themselves, well, maybe not completely, into being something completely different. I'm telling you, he is doing this again like others for attention. And to my knowledge, I think Malik Yoba, if I'm not mistaken, is married and has a few children. But in 2019, that don't mean a goddamn thing. Like, this right here is not doing anything good for those rumors that were swirling around back in the day about him. Because there was always, like I said, there were rumors that floated around that he was a little bit shaky. Or they were, worried about, his sexuality and whatnot. But he just basically came out here and said that he's a trans attracted man who identifies as straight. That basically is going back on what happened in that video with that guy who committed suicide, and you had people out there saying that he was a straight man who was attracted and in a relationship with a transsexual person who was a guy who chooses to live their life as a woman. This is the kind of confusion that just boggles my mind, and it's like they literally are trying. Listen, I don't give a damn what anybody says. The agenda is real, and they are trying to force it onto us. But they don't see that. They don't see it at all. We see it for what it is. But if we push back against it, then we get labeled with that homophobic this and homophobic that. Phobia means to be scared of something. It does not mean to disagree or to not like something. Phobia means to be scared of something. You can have a phobia of spiders. You can have a phobia of snakes. You can have a phobia of heights. But if someone says they don't agree with a particular lifestyle and they don't like that it's being forced upon someone and it's an agenda, that does not mean that they have a phobia of it. They're trying to rearrange everything. That's why it creates mass confusion. That's why back in the day it was seen as an abomination. That's why it was also seen as a mental illness. But now they're trying to get everyone to conform to it as being normal, and it will never be normal. I was seeing a comment when they were saying, if it's so normal, then why do you have to come out to the world of what you're doing? That means it was never seen as normal to begin with. So Malik Yoba, you sit the hell down somewhere and do something with your life, because right now it just seems like you're trying to seek and grab and latch onto attention that you are so desperately seeking. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one. I was going to leave this part of what I'm about to say out of the commentary, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it because it has to be said. After doing so many of these videos talking about this, I think I've come to realize what the issue is when it comes to that community. It's a number of things, but it's one that many of them will not admit to. Now, we know that community is very small, even on a global scale. Very small. So they are limited with their options as far as mating and dating. The reason why many of them are upset and like to try to shove this lifestyle down in our throats and into our faces as much as they can, or as much as they like to, is because they are running out of people to fuck. I don't think I can put it any more plainly than that. That's one of the major reasons of what it is. They are limited to their circle is very small. And they are trying their hardest to make that circle larger. And it's frustrating many of them that they can't do it, which is why they are quick to come up with you're homophobic because you don't like our lifestyle and you don't agree with it. That's what they're doing. That's their way of lashing out at us to force us to accept their lifestyle. Like we've always said, we try to give them their space, and you would think that would be enough. But then they come back and double down even harder on their fuckery.